It didn't take Jason Day very long to become a star in the world of golf. In his first 8 years on the PGA Tour, he had 12 wins, including a major championship and a players' championship, and to top it all off, he became the #1 golfer in the world golf rankings. The issue was that he admittedly got to world #1 in a very unsustainable way. Day used the word unsustainable to describe his ascent to golf stardom because of his golf swing and the nature of it and how it negatively affected his body. You see, the general mechanics of Jason Day's golf swing were certainly successful in getting his swing to a place where he could consistently win on the PGA Tour, but what it did not allow was for him to remain healthy. Day has gone on record to say that his swing was very effective at shallowing the golf club. The issue was that he was shallowing the golf club so much that that club was almost getting stuck underneath him, and the only way that he could get out of that super shallow position was by really firing the upper body and extending up through the ball even with irons. Now, although at the time that produced very good results, his body was slowly wearing down. When you have that much upper body action and your back and core need to really fire through the ball, and you're practicing and playing as much as a PGA Tour pro, you are certainly prone to injury. And Jason Day certainly caught the injury bug, fighting through injuries throughout 2017, 2018, 2019, as he began to plummet in the world golf rankings. At one time, the #1 golfer in the world, Jason Day seemingly stopped being able to win in professional golf and slipped all the way down to 123rd in the world golf rankings. Now, golf is a very fickle game. At some times, you feel like you're on top of the world, and at other times, it feels like you cannot hit a straight shot or a good golf shot for your life. The issue with these professional golfers is they put so much pressure on themselves, and the media adds on so much pressure that when they fall into a little slump, it really is blown out of proportion because they're doing it for a living. They're always thinking about it and focusing on it, but also they have media in their face saying, when are you going to break through again? When is your improvement going to happen? So for a few years, Jason Day tried to cope with the injuries and fight through it with his golf swing until he was fed up. He was mentally and physically exhausted with his golf swing, so he decided to make changes. Now, when I say changes, I'm talking about big changes. Some players will adjust how far they stand away from the ball, or they'll adjust their grip just a little bit. Jason Day, in order to prevent injury, essentially had to overhaul his entire golf swing. So with the help of Chris Como, they reconstructed the golf swing. They had his arms, especially his forearms, being much more active throughout the golf swing. So instead of using his upper body and his back to kind of make up for that shallowing move, he has his forearms kind of turn over through the ball, which is a nice move for him, and he finds it a lot more controllable. Now, obviously, swing changes aren't as simple as finding the recipe and immediately implementing it. Unfortunately, it is a long and tiring slog, but it's something that Jason Day has come through, and he's continued to fight, and luckily, he's always had very good hands around the green. He's always been a great putter of the golf ball, although that confidence has wavered. When he's on, and now he has a golf swing that he has proven to himself, to his team, and especially to the media and golf fans that he can win again when he broke through at the 2023 Byron Nelson for his 13th PGA Tour win. Now, I think a lot of people look at someone like Jason Day and kind of see him as just losing touch with his golf game and then all of a sudden deciding to change everything because he's not playing the way that he should be or that he wants to be. And I don't think that's fully the case. I really do think that the narrative of Jason Day's decline is not because of his mental unraveling. It's because his body just couldn't hold up. And the only reason that he made a full, swing overhaul, which is something that we see very rarely, the only reason he did that was because his body couldn't take on his normal swing. You look at one of the most famous golfers of all time, Tiger Woods. That's a golfer who's made plenty of swing changes throughout his career. He didn't overhaul his swing just because he felt like it and he wanted to switch things up. It's because he was hurting his body. His golf swing wasn't physically sustainable. And Jason Day had the same thing happen. The good news for Jason Day is he's an absolute golf nut. He loves golf. He loves the golf swing. He loves learning more about it and experimenting with it. So this time period from, 2020 COVID on, he was really enjoying the process of talking to Chris Como on the phone, plenty of long chats, and working through the swing and finding different technicalities. And there are so many minute details of the golf swing that he was genuinely curious about, and he wanted to learn more. And having that kind of attitude towards your own swing change or your own golf game can really help make the process more enjoyable. And in turn, if you're enjoying it, you're more motivated to practice, you're going to see better results. I love seeing stories like this from guys like Jason Day. We've seen it recently with Ricky Fowler. Jordan Spieth came out of a long slump. It's a super interesting dichotomy to see some of the world's best fall down and get right back up and see how they go about it, because everybody goes about it differently. And, with PGA Tour pros, they go through it very publicly. But even for amateur golfers, say you were a 10 handicap and now you're all the way down to an 18, and then you need to find a way to get your way back. The answer isn't always overhaul your entire golf swing. If you're injured and you can't play sustainably, then I would recommend trying to adjust your golf swing and find something more sustainable. But it's always important to keep your mentals in check and understand that what you're doing in golf is for fun. It's for competition at times, but it is for fun. So these PGA Tour guys and LPGA Tour ladies, they make a pretty big deal out of it because to them, it is a huge deal. It's their profession. It's how they make money. But for the amateur golfer, just be sure to keep it in perspective what golf really means to you. That's just a little analysis on Jason Day's golf swing. I love the golf swing now. I think him and Chris Como have really put together a pretty nice one plane sustainable golf motion. I love the tempo on it, and it just seems like under pressure, which Jason Day has been under pressure since implementing this swing. Obviously, he won the Byron Nelson. He's been in the mix at a few major championships. I believe he came in second at the Open last year. It's just a sustainable golf motion that I'm a big fan of, and I really am looking forward to seeing him play the next couple years out and seeing how he can compete with the other guys on the tour. If you have any questions or comments on Jason Day's golf swing, anything I mentioned or failed to mention, please leave that in the comment section down below. As always, thank you all very much for watching. Play well and take care.